tengo una petición. Parecerá diferente al escucharlos mi voz. Les cantaré mis deseos al dejarme en el panteón. También las mujeres mueren y yo quiero celebración. Quiero una última parranda por ahí en mi funeral. Todos los que me quisieron la tendrán que celebrar, recordando mi sonrisa y mi forma de llorar. Fui una guerrillera fuerte que por sus hijos luchó. Recuerden muy bien que en vida su madre no se rajó. Con la frente muy en alto, despídanla con honor. Quiero mi grupo norteño y que sea con todo loche. Échense un trago por mí y también un que otro toque. Ya se fue la hija del pueblo cuando se muere una dama.
On December 9, 2012, Mexican banda superstar Jenni Rivera shocked millions when she tragically died in a plane crash accident. The business jet, carrying 7 other people on board, took a nosedive minutes after taking off from Monterrey, Mexico, just hours after her performance at her sold-out and final concert in Monterrey.
Si se descuida don Julio me lo echo con limoncito, ya que se crea gimador, le doy un reempujoncito.
Rivera y su equipo de trabajo junto con 2 pilotos de un avión Learjet desaparecidos.
She is one of the strong voices of her community, but tonight she's missing after her plane disappeared over Mexico. Singer Jenni Rivera was in the northern Mexican city of Monterrey for a concert last night, but today her private plane flew out of that city headed for Toluca and never arrived.
Esto lo confirma el gobierno de México. No hay sobrevivientes.
Late word from Mexico tonight that searchers have found what appears to be plane wreckage near where an American registered corporate jet went missing this morning with Latin music superstar Jenni Rivera on board.
Jenni Rivera was born on July 2nd, 1969 and raised in Long Beach, California to Rosa and Pedro Rivera, both from Mexico. Jenni has 1 sister and 4 brothers. She earned straight A's in school until her sophomore year, when at 15 she became pregnant with their first of 5 children, Jenni Chiquis Marin Rivera. While still in high school, Jenni supported the 2 of them by selling CDs at the flea market. She later married Chiquis' father, Jose Trinidad Marin, and then they had 2 more children, Jacqueline and Michael, but she ended the marriage in 1992 after physical and emotional abuse. She attended Long Beach City College and obtained a degree in business administration, and then worked in real estate before going to her father's record label. Jenni Rivera was introduced to music in 1992 when she recorded an album for her father for a Father's Day gift. Her recording often had themes of social issues, relationships, and more. In the mid to late 90s, she was often criticized and was refused booking at venues across California for performing banda music because of it mostly male-dominated music. Her first album, Somos Riveras, We Are Riveras, was released in 1992. She signed to Buddha Records in 1993, Sony Music in the late 90s, then to Fonavista Records in 1999, and the same year, Rivera released her first commercial album with Fonavista titled Que Me Entierren con la Banda. In 1997, her younger sister Rosie Rivera confessed to Jenni that her ex-husband Trino Marin used to sexually molest her and was doing the same thing to Chiquis, Jenni's oldest daughter. The case was opened in 1997, but Trino Marin spent 9 years as a runaway before he was apprehended in April of 2006 and sentenced of sexual assault and rape, and sentenced more to than 31 years in prison without parole. Rivera married her second husband, Juan Lopez, in 1997. They had a daughter, Jenica, in 1997 and a son, Juan Angel, in 2001 before they got divorced in 2003. In 2001, she released the records Déjame Amar and Se las voy a dar a otro when she granted her first Latin Grammy nomination for Best Banda Album. Her 2003 release, Homenajes a las Grandes, was a tribute album to female Mexican singers. In 2004, she released her first complete disc titled Simplemente La Mejor. She began to attain more success with her record Parandera Rebelde y Atrevida, released in 2005, which peaked on number 10 on Billboard Top Latin Album charts. The second single released on the album, De Contrabando, became her first and only number one song to hit Latin regional Mexican airplay in the United States. In 2007, Juan Lopez, Jenni Rivera's ex-husband, was found of selling drugs. Later, he died of complications of health while in prison in 2009. Rivera married baseball player Esteban Loaiza in 2010. She became the first artist to sell out two back-to-back nights at the Nokia Theater in Los Angeles on August 6th and the 7th in 2010. Rivera was producer of the Mundo 2 reality show Chiquis and Raxi, featuring her oldest daughter Chiquis. Then she appeared on the spin-off show called I Love Jenni. Rivera worked as a coach in the second season of Mexican talent show La Voz Mexico. In October 2012, People in Español magazine named her one of the top 25 most powerful women. Jenni and Esteban filed for divorce in 2012, just months before her death, but it was never finalized. Rivera died in an aircraft accident in the early hours of December 9, 2012, when the Learjet 25 she was traveling in with 6 other passengers crashed near Monterrey, Mexico. She was in the city to perform at the Monterrey Arena the previous evening, where she had a 4-hour concert. And most hurting was the song Paloma Negra, which she sang towards her daughter Chiquis after they were on a 2 month without talking to each other.
Les pido que me ayuden a cantársela a mi hija. Ya me canso de llorar y no amanecer. Ya no sé si maldecirte o por ti rezar.
During that concert, it seemed like Jenni wanted to get back with her, but that never happened. After holding a press conference at the end of the show, she and 4 other staff and 2 pilots departed from Monterrey Airport at around 3:20 a.m. local time on December 9 to fly to Mexico for an appearance on La Voz Mexico. Around 15 minutes later, contact with the jet was lost. Later that day, the wreckage was found. There were no survivors among the 5 passengers and 2 crew members on board. All her fans were devastated, crying, and saddened of her death.
She connected to, her fans, and I think a lot of us felt what she, had gone through and stuff, so she always gave back.
Y que todas las personas murieron. El cuerpo de mi hija creo que está irreconocible.
At the time of her death, reports said she was becoming one of the biggest female Mexican artists, some saying she was the Latin version of the Kardashians. And she sold over 15 million albums by the time of her death, and she was on the brink of success with many contracts with big networks and big projects on the way. Jenni Rivera was buried on December 31st, 2012 at the All Souls Cemetery in Long Beach, California. Her father told Telemundo that legal issues had caused this delay. Her death made international headlines for weeks. Even though Jenni had passed away 10 years ago, her legacy continues. A book that was released July 2nd, 2013, on her birthday. The Rivera family said that the book was written by her but was never able to be completed by the time before she died. The book, called Unbreakable: My Story, My Way by Jenni Rivera, a New York Times bestseller. At Univision's Premio Lo Nuestro's 25th anniversary, the event was dedicated to Jenni. She received tributes by various artists singing songs that she performed. She was also awarded 5 awards, including Artist of the Year. At the 2013 Latin Billboard Music Award, she was nominated for 7 awards, including Artist of the Year. Her brother Juan Rivera performed one of her songs titled No Llegue el Olvido at the event.
Ya me acabé 2 cartones, tomé tequila montones y el olvido no ha llegado.
On May 12, 2013, the Grammy Museum opened new exhibits dedicated to Jenni. On the display were broad arrays of items, including stage costumes that she had worn to her biggest and smallest performances, her personal Bible, her driver license, credit cards, and rare photographs of both on and off stage, handwritten notes, award trophies, tickets, and so much more. A spokesman for the Grammys Museum told the LA Times the exhibit had become one of the most popular attractions in the museum's 5-year history. The spokesman also stated that this was the first exhibit that the museum had devoted entirely to a Latino or Latin American artist. The exhibit did close on May 11, 2014. On October 8, 2012, Long Beach, California Councilman D. Andrew pushed to name the park in memory of Rivera. Andrew proposed to name the public right-of-way park in central Long Beach at Walnut Avenue and 20th Street, the Jenni Rivera Memorial Park. The request was heard at the following City Council meeting. On July 2nd, 2016, Long Beach city officials hosted the official grand opening of the park, and it featured a 125-foot-long mural of Jenni Rivera and a docu-series on Jenni Rivera's life called Jenni Rivera, Mariposa de Barrio, aired on Telemundo in 2017, and it talked about her life as an artist, mother, and the struggles she went through because she wasn't a perfect person. Aparentemente Bien, the Jenni Rivera Estate and Sony Music Latin released a banda mariachi and pop version of previously unreleased songs on what would have been on her 50th birthday on July 2nd, 2019. Jenni Rivera, Motivo, and Misión Cumplida songs were released in 2021 and 2022 after her family found the music, composed it, and released it. Her legacy continues to live on by her fans, family, and friends. She will never be forgotten, even though she's not physically here with us. She's still here with us spiritually.